fight. Here we are, Friday wrap up with Karli, Bonne, and Shady Grooove. Let me just bring them in right away. We got Shady Grooove, my partner in justice. Welcome aboard.
Matrixxx, it's Friday. How's everybody doing out there? Hope you're good. Karli, get on in here.
Yeah, Karli, come on in.
I didn't hear my theme music.
You didn't hear it? Oh my gosh, I don't know if we got. I don't know if Oh, here it is. All right, so we've got so much going on, man.
Oh my goodness.
Yep, Daddy Donlia says, feels good being home with my tribe. Welcome home, my friend. You are home.
Absolutely.
You know, here we are, the most censored YouTube channel on YouTube. Also the most censored Twitter accounts, all of us. I see, what is it? United States of Q is being censored. There is no doubt we are all being censored, my friends. Live now with Shady Grooove and KBQ 225. We've got a lot going on right now, guys. I just can't even keep up anymore. I mean,
well, yeah. I mean, look, it's coming from all angles, right?
It is.
I was just telling Shady I got to write everything down.
I know.
Karli actually had to get a pen and paper. She said.
I know, but I know, right? So we've got so many great people out there doing, great work. A lot of good YouTube channels out there. Praying Medic is out there. You got us. You got, many others, guys. Jordan Sather, we're all, iPod, of course. iPod. And we just got to keep going and just, there's just so much to take in, guys. What do you think? I mean, hasn't this been a crazy couple of weeks?
Well, really, it has been a crazy couple of weeks. Number one, I think that Q being down has added a little bit of essence to all of our ability to sort of see things happen on our own. Yep. And also the ability for the president to drive the narrative a little harder without the mainstream news being able to quite attack on so many angles. We saw him hanging out, answering every question. We're seeing him act as his own press secretary now. Whatever question you have for him, ask him. Now they have to have the cojones to bring the question to him instead of attacking the press secretary, and they don't seem to attack him the way they did the press secretary.
And look at it, I'm so confused. I've got it as the 22nd here, Shady. I've been having a hard time counting the last 2 weeks, guys. I've been goofing up the show numbers and the dates. I know, so I will change that. Thank you, Angel Fly. We've got some news that David Koch has passed away.
Coke.
I'm sorry. I always say names wrong.
I know. It's okay.
I'm so sorry, everybody.
It's okay.
That was
we're gonna forgive
you.
So David.
Now Karli's gonna be taking video of us.
David Koch. Sorry, guys. Jeez. So he passed away. My bad, guys. That was not a Freudian slip. I promise. Karli, how you doing? Anyways, so we got David Koch. Billionaire philanthropist has passed away. Devin Nunes will get his day in court against Twitter this week.
I saw this.
That's going to be big.
Bravo.
Go Devin.
I think Laura Loomer's case is moving forward too. So there are cases moving forward against the deep state censors. That's amazing.
Right. I can't wait for our case to start. Wow.
Exactly. It's not going to be much longer.
Right. And then this is Koch Industries statement on August 7th. Remember, 600 ICE agents descended on Koch Foods in Morton, Mississippi, and 6 other chicken processing plants in the area. I thought that was kind of weird. Now he's passed on. All right.
Yeah.
You know what else is interesting? And Karli, I think you brought this to my attention. Why is she like the kiss of death?
Seems like it.
Look at that. Those are the Koch brothers
with Ghislaine
Maxwell.
And then all of a sudden, he's going on the other side of the dirt.
Absolutely. Yeah, he's pushing up.
Does she work for Evergreen? Because there seems to be cries for Evergreen.
Well, I mean, it seems like we got another cry for Evergreen this morning, didn't we?
Yeah. Oh, first of all, I want to address this. The chosen one. First of all, who did you choose for president in 2016? Who did you choose?
I chose Donald Trump.
So was he the chosen one?
Yes.
Or was Hillary the chosen one?
No, I chose Donald Trump.
All right, so he's the chosen one.
Yes.
I'm going to stand by it because
I
got to love the deep state spin, man. The total panic. We did choose Donald Trump in 2000. And guess what? He's going to be the chosen one in 2020 too, boy. Press 45 if you think Donald Trump is going to be chosen in 2020.
Well, our civics books kind of calls it the elected one,
right?
But okay.
Well, if you look at the context, of it, he said, I'm the only one. I'm the first president standing up against China. I guess I'm the chosen one. He's and he was. I chose him.
Oh, when he did that, I just died.
Oh, and then they went crazy.
So I said they're gonna lose their mind. Now he's king of the Jews. Oh my God.
Oh, it's like balloons popping from all around the world simultaneously.
Real quick, I just want to
saw heads exploding.
Yeah, I want to talk about that too. He tweeted Henry Ford. Remember that? And everybody's like, oh, he had. He had what did he say? A medal from Hitler, and because Henry Ford is that now Trump. See how they do that? And then this one guy, he said that Henry Ford did a soybean car. I laughed my butt off because Henry Ford actually in 1941 did a hemp car, guys.
Yes, he did.
And
the whole car
ran on hemp, made of hemp, amazing hemp. But it was funny that they said it was a soybean car. You just can't.
It's also really funny too how they diverted him away from that because they wanted him to use metal because the metal was heavier and it would require more fuel to move the vehicle around.
Here it is right here. I don't know if they have any music here.
Thousands of products made from hemp. One of the most extraordinary is Henry Ford's plastic car. Built in 1941, it contained cellulose fibers derived from hemp, sisal, and wheat straw.
I didn't hear soybean.
The plastic was light than steel, yet can withstand 10 times the impact.
Look at that. 1941, guys. 1941.
Look at him hitting it.
Yeah, they were hitting it. No dents, no bruises, no nothing. In the Matrixxx, Garden Gnome says, I thought that the Dems removed God from their platform, so what the hell are they basing those accusations on? Just saying. Hey, very good comment.
That's a good comment.
That is a good comment, Nomi. That's my favorite Garden Gnome, by the way. All right, so the David Koch, because I can't say the
No, you said it right that time.
That time, okay.
Hey, you did good.
You gotta watch out.
I know we squeezed through there.
You gotta watch out. Somebody was saying this is in reply. I did a response to at Real Donald Trump, and he said this is huge. And for some reason, my tweet on my thing, and I just retweeted this with go get him, Donald Trump. He said this. He says, as usual, the Fed did nothing. It is incredible that they can speak without knowing or asking what I am doing, which will be announced shortly. We have a very strong dollar and a very weak Fed. I will work brilliantly with both, and the U.S. will do great. My only question is, who is our bigger enemy, Jay Powell or Chairman Z? Wow. Wow.
And Matrixxx, I think they're kind of like equal enemies there, don't you?
Well, if you understand history, remember Henry Paulson was CEO of Goldman Sachs. He also was Treasury Secretary, but when he was a CEO of Goldman Sachs, he made over 70 trips to China, helped them set up their Federal Reserve Bank. So, dun, dun, dun.
To say the least.
China is the deep state, folks, guys, right?
I think right here, I think the president is saying that Jay Powell and Chairman Z are working for the same ends.
That's right. They are. They're working against
the American people. We the people of the world, even know, because it's a financial system that is based on a fiat currency and it's based on interest gaining interest over time to the point where you're enslaved to the interest debt.
Oh, look, and Trauma Mama 3 says there's only one L in Powell, and he's got two. That's interdasting. That's interdasting.
Extra L.
Absolutely. So
thank you.
Yeah. Oh, wait, we all play it again. Oh, I owe you guys many of these. Because we only had we had a really serious show because we had the amazing Liz Crokin on. By the way, when I put that video on Twitter, it got deleted on Twitter and Periscope, guys.
Yeah, I saw that.
over the target. All right, so love it, guys. Thank you. And we've got a lot of stuff going on here in the news. This was a really good thread, tier 2. Let me just go to Karli, because let's put this. Karli, I want you to run this because this is your dig. I actually went to bed at 9:30 p.m. last night and woke up.
I got some real rest.
Yeah, and woke up at 10 a.m.
Oh, you
my
missed
gosh.
all the excitement. Goodness gracious.
I needed it. I think my voice was going and everything. So where do you want me to go? I didn't get
Well,
it.
Well, right here, I love that one right there.
I found footage.
The Epstein attempting to hang himself. That is killing me. I was dying from that one, Karli.
Oh my God. That
He
is funny.
tried so hard to kill himself.
He tried to.
All right, so this is the thread right here, right?
That one hurt me.
This one
Yeah,
here? Okay.
this is Patrick. Now, I got him with Martha. I got him with Cuomo. I also got on here our favorite body language ghost.
Okay, good. Let's go through it. Here we go. Ready? We want to do the first one here. This is the CEO of Overstock. Should we listen to it? Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. Because this is very interesting. This is the hot news of the day, guys. And then we're going to all talk about it. Ready?
It's all the top. The men in black, as I called them, showed up and asked for this third favor. Well, anyway, I'm not going to go into the details right now, but I didn't know who sent the orders, but I did them. They seemed fishy last summer watching television. And here's the punchline. Here's the punchline, people. Last summer watching television and some congressional hearings, I figured out where those orders came from. I gave him a guy named Peter Strzok.
Huh.
And
Never heard of that guy before.
Priestap, Carlin, McCabe, Comey. That was who sent the orders.
Well, you're naming a bunch of FBI people there.
Well, the Peter Strzok, and it has been confirmed to me that my instructions came from Peter Strzok, that the people who carried me the orders were coming and taking it on behalf. That's been confirmed.
So you had helped the government a couple of times. They reached out to you. What did they ask you to do?
I don't want to go into the nitty-gritty right now. The nitty-gritty, I can tell you the main event, and I feel terrible. I've been watching for 3 years, and our country's coming apart, and people are killing each other. And I finally went to see Buffett. And Buffett's kind of my rabbi, I call him. And,
That was weird. What?
And he said, Patrick, you have to come forward. And I said, it's going to make some feds furious at me. Their heads are going to explode. And he said, you let feds do their job. You're a citizen. You got your job. You're coming to the public. Here's what it is. This was all political espionage conducted against Hillary Clinton, Rubio, Cruz, and Trump. This is not a theory of mine, some political theory. I was in the room when it happened, in a way. I mean, not in a way. I was part of it. I didn't know. I knew I had some of the pieces. I thought I had the pieces of something much bigger. Last summer, as stuff bubbled into the news, thanks to good journalists such as yourself, I started realizing I had these very important missing pieces. I actually started trying to help then, but I had to wait until there was a return to rule of law in our country. And I've lived in places where and that took waiting until Bill Barr got installed. And then I don't know the guy, I never shaken his hand.
So didn't he say something about he knew Warren Buffett as a kid, since he was a kid, and he was his rabbi? Guess who else knew Warren Buffett as a kid, and now he's dead?
Mr. Seth Rich.
There he is right there. And this is kind of odd. Ninja pose. Just my friends posing with Warren Buffett as a belly dancer.
A belly dancer.
Not creepy.
No. And he's claiming to be a rabbi, like to this guy.
Yeah.
Or this guy's claiming he was his rabbi.
Yeah.
Warren Buffett.
Yeah.
Now, I know everyone's freaking out at the fact that he mentions Hillary and Obama, but like I said to you before we went on, remember, Pfizer works both ways. This guy could have been just a dumb dupe. He wasn't even mentioned in the Mueller report, but then neither was Misford, where this whole thing, Spygate thing started.
Pfizer works both ways, right?
I think spies were spying on spies, and this guy was just a dumb dupe in the middle that was having an affair with this Butina, who they locked up for being a Russian spy, who wasn't even a Russian spy.
Wow. So before we get into the next interview, I think Mr. Bryn wants to take a break. Hang on. Oh, darn it. An error occurred. Here we go. There. Okay. Okay. All right, Mr. Brink.
Now he's ready.
Continue.
He had to get a bump.
People like this in Russia.
Oh my God! Are you serious?
That's what it sounded like he was doing. I don't know what he was doing.
A website called Deep Capture, which is where I used to write to the world. But I'll go into all the. I don't want to go into where in the doll did you touch her stuff. We had an intellectual relationship.
It's almost like we're looking for a missing person around here.
She turned that into a physical relationship. I don't mean to, not that I'm or unwell, but so we dated for about 6 months. I was trying to yenter her in to some senior foreign policy thinkers. Because of some things I used to do involving law enforcement and taking down Wall Street, I used to have a very low level security clearance. And when you get that, you sign a piece of paper that says,
oh my God,
from Russia and says, listen, I've been sent here to make contact with you, and we want to take you to Moscow and want you to speak on Bitcoin and speak on liberalism at the central bank, and then we want other people. You have to report that. I reported that, and so that to my clearance authority, and which is kind of I talked about once every 3 years or something like that happened. And before I know it, the men in black are back in my life, and I was trying to encourage her to have a relationship, and she wanted to be a back channel for peace, and I could have opened some doors, but I didn't want to do that until I had some green light. And after a couple months, I was given the green light. That turned romantic. I was bothered. I'll tell you something I'll tell you some really deep stuff.
I don't know.
This guy is really hard to watch.
Yeah,
all right?
Trauma Mama says
a couple of these.
Yeah, Fox Business interview was easiest for her to understand. His anxiety got worse with each interview, is what Trauma Mama 3 is pointing out, which is interesting.
But it's like he got the green light from the feds to start boinking her, basically.
Right.
So, and then he described it that he was calling on her like a booty call once a month.
Yeah.
I mean, it gets really odd.
It's so elaborate the way he's explaining this.
Yeah, and also like if you scroll down later to the body language goes, she's saying how his arms with the flailing, he's very open. And what I got out of this is in one of these interviews, he keeps saying the top heads, X, Y, and Z, X, Y, and Z.
Yep.
And then I did a live dig right there on my thread and did like a little movie of all the Q posts with X, Y, and Z. And it all seems to come full circle because it's all about
X talks to Y, Y talks to yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So Z is Comey, is what he said in this interview.
That's what he said in there. But didn't you find it interesting that in the initial part he called Peter Strzok out like the one person, but then later on in the conversation he leads away from Peter Strzok and acts like, oh, he's not important. Don't think about Peter Strzok. So it's almost like it's to me what it seemed like is that he was going on there to say some stuff. And then he ended up getting on there and saying way too much stuff. And then he was trying to like cover behind of what the stuff he did say and make that sound good on the air. And then she asked him a question and it threw him off. And he got all thrown off. And then the next thing you know, he's all talking about, Warren Buffett being a rabbi. And then he's going into his music.
He's a self-proclaimed hippie. So there's a lot of drugs in this guy's past. So he's
you sure that might have been Joe Biden sniffing around?
I don't know what
Joe Biden.
Was. She got me a little worried there.
Oh my God.
But he said, I think it's before the tweet that you're showing. He said that put a camera in Comey's face.
Yeah.
And he'll be crapping. And I laughed out loud.
Here we
Where
go.
is that
Ready?
one?
Right here.
There you go.
Ready? Here we go.
And try to destroy me, so I had to get out of the way. That's what's happened. And
no doubt Peter Strzok would watch this and say, he's full of it. I had nothing to do with anything that he's talking about.
Wait.
I would imagine.
He won't. I can tell you, Peter Strzok, you want to see a former director crap his pants? Pardon me. Go stick a television camera on Peter Strzok, or let's just say James Comey, and say the name Patrick Byrne. You will see a former director of the FBI crap his pants.
All right. Well, we thank you for coming here tonight and telling your story, and we'll obviously.
I mean, didn't they see it? I mean, are they not going to see him on TV?
Yeah.
I mean, it makes this is a little bit strange, everyone.
Well, I did a little digging, and it seemed, like they have used actors and stuff like if you scroll down, who is that? The guy from the Gong Show. They used him in the past.
Yeah. Where are you looking?
And,
This one?
No, that's he. Actually, the story of this guy came out on this guy's show a few weeks back.
Okay. So I'm not sure.
Trying to see where
Let
you're
me
going.
see. I don't know either.
Yeah, he had Chuck
Oh, there
Barris.
he is. Chuck Berry.
There he is.
Barris. Chuck Barris. Yeah.
And they did a really, really bad movie about it. And then I have a link that shows other actors.
Like he said,
So
he
then
was
there's,
a murderer. Like he killed people for the government.
Yeah,
and
he
stuff.
was like it was almost like he was MK Ultra because he said they were saying he was schizophrenic and all kinds of things. So this isn't the first time the men in black have infiltrated, citizens or people in power.
Yeah. Joanna says, I think it's part of the plan and you kids are jumping the gun. We're not jumping any guns. We're just looking at the guns.
Jumping the gun.
I'm just
We're looking
digging. I'm just digging.
Soonlin777 says, thank you guys. And Karli, love all your info you bring us. Thank you for all the hard work you do. It helps us so much, especially the ones with bad eyes. It means the world to us. Thanks for all the fun too. Thank you.
I appreciate that because a lot of people, they come on and they don't have cable. They, and I do these little video clips. They can't even get to YouTube because some people just put a YouTube post and they can't do it from where they are. So when I do these little videos, it's, I'm not blowing my horn, but I do have followers that can't see this on their own.
Yeah.
So that's why the threads seem a bit long or whatever, but there's people that need this.
Right. I'm not sure what the base Arkansas says. If you're talking about Patrick Mack, I know he's smart. I don't know what that comment's about. But yeah, so Judicial Watch, where do you want to go now from here?
All right, so now we have Solomon last night.
Okay. Ready?
And he dropped a little boom. We got a couple weeks.
Let's listen to the boom.
Public are left in the dark, and it creates that perception, as you rightfully mentioned, Sean, of a dual system of justice.
Explain the nature of this evidence that they had right at their fingertips, and they didn't allow investigators to see.
Yeah, we can only get a little glimpse of it from the descriptions in these letters and correspondence that I was able to look at. But it appears to be highly classified information, possibly some of copies of Hillary Clinton's emails or people who looked at them or other evidence of communication around Mrs. Clinton's email server. It is highly, highly classified. So classified that some members of Congress, even though they have high levels of classification, couldn't see it. Only special people could go into a specialized SCIF. So whatever this is highly, highly sensitive information. But the FBI should have saw it 3 years ago.
All right, that has to be gotten to the bottom of, John. That's pretty serious.
It's extraordinary.
Lindsey Graham said that the IG report on FISA abuse will be chilling, and then he said Horowitz will come to his committee to testify, get all the time he needs, tell the country exactly what happened. It will be in public. They will do as much as possible in the open. Now the question is, okay, if in fact, based on your reporting, that they were all warned that the dossier was dirty, it was Russian lies. Then later we find out the FBI mapped out 90 to 100% was false. But it was the bulk of information to obtain the warrants to spy on the president, his transition team, and then presidential candidate. The question is, if I lied to a judge, if I had a premeditated fraud before a judge and I was warned it was a fraud ahead of time, multiple times, would I be going to jail?
You absolutely would. And the question remains, will those who were involved in this case face the same form of justice? What I can report tonight is that the IG has.
You agree with me? I'd go to jail, right? You'd agree? Sean Hannity would go to jail.
Stop interrupting.
Yeah, I would too, and I would expect to. Listen, I did those things. Those are criminal in nature. So what I can report tonight, Sean, is that the IG has completed his work on the FISA abuse report. It's expected to be transmitted as early as next week to Attorney General William Barr, and that will begin a process of declassification. I think we're still on track for that timeline I've been saying on your show. Mid-September to early October seems the most likely release point.
Very cool. Wow. Here we go. It's going to happen, guys.
It's not that far away,
It's definitely going to happen.
Not that. So we were making fun of them interrupting, and we were getting told to quit making fun and listen to his words and think. So, guys, FISA works both ways. Guys, this is a cool show. We're having fun, and we're digging with each other, and this is just a very amazing time. Thanks for being here, all of you. All right, so they never thought she would lose. This is, oh my gosh, you want to listen to this one?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and then we'll go into more. Here we go.
Had Hillary
we'll go back to him in a
Clinton won
minute.
the election, we probably would never know any of this ever happened. That's how frightening this is. So this was certainly based on the evidence that's been exposed over the last 2.5 years. We've seen actually a two-tiered justice system. I think it was quite shocking, not just for me, but for other people investigating this, congressional members. So I certainly hope so. I truly believe that Attorney General William Barr will do the right thing, that he and John Durham are conducting a thorough investigation. But just look at John's story, what was exposed there, and what happened. They did nothing. So they basically are burying this. We know Christopher Wray is fighting Judicial Watch and everyone else tooth and nail not to give up any information. All we can hope is that the Department of Justice does its job, that it cleans house, that it exposes those documents that are supposed to be made public to the American people, and that we know the truth once and for all, because we really cannot afford, just like you said, to have a two-tiered justice system, because the most important department in this country is the Department of Justice, and that's what we count on. That is the final say. Otherwise, nothing will happen.
Interesting.
Now, the whole thing with Ray, because, Q said trust Ray. Now, he might be withholding stuff, but I think this just goes with the whole movie.
Yeah.
I think it's
Just
the
like
exact,
with Sessions.
the exact same thing with Jeff Sessions and the way the president, I would expect that the president at some point in the near future will be lashing out at Christopher Wray on Twitter. So, similar to what he did with Jeff Sessions, I think he might do that with Mike Pompeo as well. That was, to me, that's kind of pointing me back into the Q board, where it told us who to trust, and it told us that in capital letters for a reason. But we do have the more recent Q post with Christopher Wray and the sleeper comment. So it's a little bit up in the air, but truthfully, I see like what Sarah was approaching it with there was almost exactly like what we saw with Jeff Sessions of, the attacks come to bring attention to the information.
Absolutely.
It's kind of like, a side-handed way to get attention on the subject.
Right.
Yeah, because the only time the news says, quotes Trump is either they show a tweet that they're all appalled by, but that brings the news that he's, planting. I told you, he's the constant gardener, always planting those seeds and then letting the news just explode around it. Even if they're completely wrong, it's getting in the news where normally it wouldn't.
So this body language ghost said that he was telling the truth, correct?
Yeah, if you want, go to the YouTube link because this video is like really short.
Okay.
Patrick Byrne, the now former CEO of Overstock.com. Patrick, thank you
Let's take
very
a look
much
at some of this,
for
'cause I
being
love
with us tonight
body language
to
ghosts.
talk about
Well,
your
first,
story.
It's an honor to be on. There was some confusion wrapped up in that lead you just heard, folks,
Okay.
but we'll unscramble it.
All right, we'll unscramble it to be sure. So, first of all, I know that you obviously you left your company today. It's a company that you built through your own, sweat and grit over all of those years. Very successful business. Your thought?
Now I'm watching him. He seems very uncomfortable. And this goes back into the thought of, he's probably not on TV all the time. And when you are on TV being interviewed on something that makes you stressed, you're going to have more stress. 1, cameras. 2, interview by stranger. 3, threats.
That's quickly about the company.
Company's in a great position. We have two sides to it. We have the retail business. We also have a network of blockchain companies that I think can change the world. And for example, something called, if you're into blockchain, there's like a killer app called Security Tokens. We got a company called T0 that is leading that. We have all these great blockchain companies.
As we see him, his body sings with him, and he's really open he speaks with his arms and hands. So this is what we're seeing for his truth. And so that you remember this when we go into other things that he talks about.
And our retail business returned to positive in the black EBITDA in the second quarter. So everything's in a great situation. I have to get away from the retail company based on what I think is going on.
Okay, so obviously you stepped away from your company, you say for the good of the company and the good of the country. You say that you got tangled up in the deep state investigation in...
You see a lot of mouth movement where it comes up and it goes tight. I'm actually acting that out as if you can see me. But your mouth comes up, lips pursed together, and then it drops, and then it comes up again and it drops. That's words or things that he wants to say that he's keeping back. Probably out of politeness to not interrupt the interviewer.
To President Trump. Tell me, how did all of this start?
Let me give you the bottom line up front. So listen, I'm a hippie. I have nothing to do with the feds. I'm a flag-waving hippie. Twice in my life, I had the honor of helping them. A friend of mine named Brian Williams was murdered 17 years ago. I helped them bring the murder to justice, and I helped them fight Wall Street about 12 years ago. I was kind of a one-man Occupy Wall Street. In 05, 06, the Fed showed up, and it was my honor to help them take down a couple hundred people on Wall Street. So that's that.
And then again, remember what we talked about in the beginning about how open and his movements and how he was moving. And now he's talking about the work that he did with them prior, about helping get his friend justice for his murder, going into his other details that he's about to do, still being truthful and honest. He's stressed. We're seeing that. We're seeing that in his face. We're seeing that in the forehead. We're seeing that in the eyes and in the cheeks. He's still stressed. And it's that underlying stress. And why is it called an underlying stress? Is because it keeps going throughout this entire interview. It started with it and it continues through it.
Jump to the bottom line. And this I've learned is the quickest way to explain it. In 2015, 2016, they got back in touch with me for the third time. And it was, I was given some fishy orders. And I carried them out thinking in 2015, 2016, thinking I was conducting law enforcement.
Now he has slowed down, but his body is still moving freely. And he's still bringing his hands up to talk. Now why did it slow down? Well, we're seeing we're hearing the song, but the song isn't with anything else. So the song says the brain is thinking. Then the song gives the brain time to think, and it comes out as the song. Now that's acceptable. Because I've already watched this. I don't usually watch them prior to this, but I already watched this one. And he's being very careful about what he says in public, because apparently he's informed the feds, the real ones, as he puts it, about the shenanigans that he was involved in. So yes, he wants to keep this shenanigan secret to himself. And I would guess as to not alert the higher-ups or whoever was involved, as he calls them XYZ, of who they are and that he knows.
Yeah, so to me, like, you know, she brings up a good point there, but could he be being careful of his words because they gave him what to say?
Yes, exactly right.
You know, I'm just, being devil's advocate here. I don't know.
And I don't know either, but I'd like to just throw out a little bit of a theory here, because I agree with her assessment. I agree with what she's saying, but it's very similar to all of the disinformation campaigns of all of the other deep state. They're telling you truth so that they can insert a narrative diversion.
Right.
They're attempting to insert a narrative diversion. So he's telling the truth. He's being honest. I think that he probably was approached. I don't think that he's trustworthy. And whenever he comes out and he says something like, I'm a card-carrying hippie or flag-carrying hippie or something like that, it's kind of a red flag, like, oh, I'm trying to fit in where I am an undercover agent.
And Warren Buffett was my rabbi.
Right. So you're kind of saying multiple different things here, in my opinion. And for him to be he's diverting the attention away from who started this investigation, which would be the DNC or Hillary Clinton or the deep state, to say, oh, it was the rogue FBI agent, Peter Strzok, and working with Jim Comey. And it was an inside thing to take down all of them, to get blackmail on all of them, which seems like he's using this news show as a platform to try to insert a counter narrative to the truth, which is that the DNC inserted this investigation towards opposing political campaign. They weren't doing the same thing to both political campaigns, which would make America seem like, oh, well, at least they were doing it to everyone.
Right.
Kind of my take on the whole
acceptable
thing. Right. Mm-hmm. So it's, a little bit of subversion, but it is truthful.
Yeah, well, they had him on Cuomo too, like right after this.
Oh, God.
I think I have that one.
He was on. He went on CNN too.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Oh, goodness. I didn't look all the way down. Oh, there we go. Evergreen.
Yeah, we got the evergreen tweets here. That's odd, right? So we got Jake Tapper, evergreen. Now we got Kristen Gillibrand saying evergreen.
Right after the guy was on there last night. I mean, to me, standing at the 40,000 foot view, the Overstock, the CEO of Overstock, and when you think about what Overstock is, look at what Amazon is. Overstock is kind of like, okay, we know the deep state has control over every single one of these huge companies.
Yeah,
I'm not sure why this guy's any different.
And Q is gone too, right? So
they can run a narrative?
Could the mainstream media? They know that we're going to do the X, the Y, the Z. They knew we were going to find that. Could FISA have been worked both ways in him being told that Hillary, Cruz, Trump, and others Rubio were being, but Rubio is a John McCain.
Yeah,
we don't say his name
guy. Guy out later to cover their asses, because the closer we get to the IG report, the closer we get to Barr, the more they're going to hear more garbage.
Yeah. Well, they're going to have to explain it.
Things were inserted. I mean, this was an unknowing dupe that was having a booty call with a so-called Russian agent. They told him it was okay, and they filled his head with stuff. So he's being truthful, but he's being truthful of what they told him.
Correct.
So he's repeating the false narrative that they fed him.
Exactly right. That's exactly what I think.
And Shady, he brought up hippie, and we know what happened in the hippie times, right?
Exactly.
LSD, MK Ultra.
Young to be a hippie? Isn't he kind of young?
Yeah, he's young to be a real hippie.
He said he was 57, I think.
Yeah, you would have to be, summer of 69.
I wasn't a hippie. Yeah, I wasn't a hippie. I was 4.
Right. I mean, that was, it was 50 something or 55 years ago. 50 years since Woodstock right now.
Right.
So he would have to be 65 to have been 15 then.
Let's see how old he is.
Well, he's saying he was the Wall Street hippie, I guess, when they did the Wall Street sit-in after 9/11.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense too.
Now, where's the one with me laughing at Cuomo and Lemonhead? Where's that video?
Let me see. Cuomo, and is that up here?
I think it's
there. It is.
But he's with Lemonhead. Well, this is Cuomo talking to him, and he's known this guy a long time. So maybe you want to show the other one first before the Cuomo Lemonhead. Show the one with Cuomo actually interviewing him. See, now Cuomo's known this guy a long time.
All right, ready?
They're actually friends.
Clown Town.
Right, here we go.
From the top.
What does that mean, hijacked from the top? What does that mean?
The organization was hijacked from the top by X, Y, and Z. And at this point...
you're going to have to provide names of people that you met with because, either you're telling a wild story or you're telling a story that's wild and true. One of those two things are true.
I'm highly confident that Bill Barr and the Department of Justice will be providing those names on an indictment someday in the not too distant future.
But you gave the DOJ the names of the FBI people you met with?
And I'm not the only whistleblower coming forward. Hillary Clinton's supporters in Hollywood were spied on. I'm not the only person coming forward.
It sounds crazy. I got to tell you, I don't mean to, use a word that's insensitive to the mentally ill, but it's because it's so unusual. I've never heard anything like this, Patrick, and I've been doing this a long time.
It was weaponized.
Never heard anything like
it. Our law enforcement was weaponized. I'm sorry. I like President Obama very much. I did not vote for Donald Trump. Our national security state was weaponized. I was in the center of it. Those 3 names are known to the government, and this is, it happened. I want to be clear that the men in black were very unhappy. They were not leering, and they were like, this is really awful. We never have heard of this in our career. The United States never does stuff. We are not like this. We're not the bad guys. But this request is coming from X and Y and
you
Z.
think Jim Comey knew?
100%. 100%. There's good news here for both Republicans and Democrats. The Republicans are wrong. The Democrats didn't just dream up this Russian investigation. The FBI did. They had me jumping up and down and saying there was a problem here and looking at it. I thought I was going to be talking someday explaining why didn't they look into it. they're wrong. The Republicans are wrong to say that this was fabricated and nowhere. What they're right about, though, is that it was actually being politicized. So anyway, I'm very sorry. I'm going to lay low. Best of luck to you, Chris. Thank you. Very honorable for you to have me on.
Well, I'm not telling you to do a media tour, but I'm saying you're going to have to cooperate with authorities. People are going to want to vet the...
He's already cooperated with them, smarty pants.
Now, but did you hear that the story, like, as he goes on, he seems to let more out. Now, it wasn't exactly Hillary that was being spied on. It was Hollywood people.
Well, but look at how he's setting up the narrative. He's setting it up to say, oh well, the people in Hollywood were victims of spying. The people, look at how they're setting this whole thing up. They're going to all paint themselves as some sort of deep state victim.
I'm just hoping that he was fed a false narrative, so he'd come out and say this is to cover their asses, but a real investigation, like we're hoping, that Sessions was doing behind the scenes on the emails and everything that Hillary had and the Wiener laptop, and these people that were being investigated in Hollywood is all connected to what we know, what horrible things were going on.
Yeah, and
that's my prayer.
So, and John Bryn, his father, died in 2013. He was an American longtime insurance industry executive who was CEO of Geico. Guess who bought Geico? Warren Buffett. White Mountains Insurance Group and Fireman's Fund. He also served as chairman of Overstock.com. That's John J. Byrne. That's this man's father. So there could be some chicanery or shenanigans. So
there is some serious Clowntown shenanigans going on here.
And interesting that he mentioned, in this interview, Buffett, right? So, I mean, Buffett bought, Geico had a turnaround as a result to these measures, which attracted the attention of investor Warren Buffett. He bought a position in the company, and eventually his Berkshire Hathaway acquired the company. He has called Bryn the Babe Ruth of insurance. In 1985, Bryn was invited to run for Troubled Fireman's Fund, then a subsidiary of American Express. Fireman's had incurred $356 million pre-tax losses. And I'm getting this off. I just wanted to see, we always want to look at their parents, right? So this is this gentleman's parents. So this is his son Patrick bought a 60% interest in the internet retailer D2 Discount Direct, changing its name to Overstock.com. The elder Byrne served as Overstock.com director from 1999 to 2002, then rejoined the board in 2004. He was elected as chairman in 2005. The elder Byrne said that he was thinking of stepping down in disagreement over his son's campaign against naked short selling, which he said was distracting his son from leading the company. Just very interesting. Here's the part about the Geico right here that I just wanted to show you, because I thought it was interesting. I don't know if you guys caught it too, but, Geico. And then we got, what's his name? The rabbi. Buffett. So I thought that was very interesting stuff. Just things to dig on, guys. I don't know. Certainly, this is making things very, very interesting. It could be muddying up some things that Q has done, or it could be helping. I don't know, right?
But it's got the lamestream media actually talking
Here's
about
his website,
this, where
Deep
it
Capture.
was all Russian collusion. They're still saying that the president is a Russian asset and they're blackmailing him. Now insert this guy, they'll look more credible because, well, we've been fooled all this time. So that we weren't reporting wrong.
Yes.
We were just the wrong information. Now this guy comes ahead and now look, we're legit.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
That's exactly what it looks like.
How to get egg off your face.
That's what they're working on. I mean, they're sitting down running computer algorithms and trying to understand what it is they can lie about and how they can possibly mitigate this. At every turn, and
cover up the lie.
Well, it's like every carpet, it's like carpet bomb after carpet bomb. So as soon as they start, then we're laying a whole other layer. This layer that was laid on them by this guy last night, and also you're making your reference back to Geico and Buffett. Geico is government employees insurance company, guys. So just to let you know, that's what it stands for.
Government employee insurance company. That's right.
Do you know what the gecko's real name is?
The gecko in the commercial, no.
Matrixxx.
No. Pepe?
No.
Pepe.
Nope.
What?
I looked it up, and supposedly it's Matt.
Matt.
But they never say it.
Oh.
M-A-T-T, Matt?
I think so, Matt.
Matt
that is a terrible name for a gecko.
Matt the gecko.
It's just hearsay that his name is Matt. Oh, what do you call a guy with no arms and no legs at your front door?
Matt.
There you go.
How about behind a boat?
Bob.
Skip.
Oh, God.
All right, stop it. That's not funny. All right, those are old jokes. We're probably going to get in trouble now. But look at this.
What are they going to do, censor us more?
So interesting enough, though, that Bryn, the Marina Batuna guy in the comments and the deep state, look, this has all been redone. Citation needed. Bitcoin guy. Just very interesting. And his website apparently here is deepcapture.com. And look. Oh, wait. It came up.
Oh, the second time it came up?
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know if I agree to this. What is this?
I was going to say, what are we reading?
What am I going to agree to?
I don't want to agree.
Oh my gosh! So this
What the
is
heck is that?
this is his deep
You got to
capture.
agree to cookies?
Yeah, it seemed like more than that, but this is the story. This is his deepcapture.com. Very interesting, but it's about crypto too. So I have one eyebrow up on this guy, right? So we'll just keep watching.
Well, look at the Lemonhead because they discussed his website.
All right, here we go.
It's interesting because speaking for the people at home, as I'm watching it for the first time, I'm like, what is he saying? Because this whole deep state thing was supposed to be about setting up Donald Trump, but yet he's saying that Hillary Clinton was set up and that the FBI was used as a political apparatus.
He's not making that.
Oh, we're trying to figure it out.
Wait, I didn't. Hang on. Let me hear it again.
Sorry.
It's okay.
He's saying that Hillary Clinton was set up.
Get outraged.
How do I mute you guys?
The FBI was used as a political apparatus.
He's not making that. If I had even sensed that this was about a political agenda or some InfoWars BS like that, I would never have him on the show. But I know him. I've tracked his career over the years.
Now I see why you laughed. I'm sorry, guys. That's InfoWars crap, right? All right, let's continue.
Website has got some stuff on it that is certainly controversial.
Deepcapture.com, the thing that he does. Yeah. I mean, he is a conspiracy theorist of sorts. Not, like the ones we were talking about yesterday with the guy
he's
calling
not like
President Trump
he's not some lunatic or something like that. And again, his company was a $745 million company. And I'm not saying you can't be rich and cuckoo. I'm saying that, he's always sounded like that. When I interviewed him in 1998, 99, he sounded like that. But look, either he's got the names.
Or he doesn't.
And in terms of politics, he says what they did with Clinton was wrong, what they did with Trump was wrong, what they did with me was wrong. So it's not like he's trying to advance a partisan agenda that I see.
Yeah. What's interesting to me, though, is, again, I said a healthy degree of skepticism, but you don't know. He could be telling the truth.
Either he's got the names or he doesn't.
We don't know in these times. Listen, people don't know what to believe now. And having heard what he had to say, I don't know. And I would like it to be investigated a bit more. But
he says the DOJ is, and they put out a statement that they did meet with him.
Right.
But honestly, you don't have to go any further than this. Either the names he has check out, or they don't.
And the dates and the times and the meetings and all of that. Yeah.
But look, either the names check and they know him, and they say no, this guy, it's sad, but this is none of this is in the realm of reality.
The whole part about Warren Buffett, he said Warren Buffett advised him to come forward. And then he said him and others, I believe, hopefully I'm getting this right, said that you're going to be eaten alive by the political class in Washington if you come forward with this. And I'm sure they're mulling it over now.
Well, he's going to get eaten alive by us, as we go through the fact checking of it. And that's okay. I mean, that's the rigor that a situation like this is going to warrant. And it's
interesting, huh, guys? So
hashtag complete setup, dude. This is a complete setup for narrative change.
Yeah, I think so.
They're such idiots. If it's true, we'll find out. And it's
like Cuomo's out there on the subway getting leads.
This is about to make Hillary Clinton a victim. That's basically what I see here.
I agree with that 100%.
Exactly.
Wow. And then we have Gillibrand tweeting evergreen today.
Of course we do.
Like, did we do good for you? Right. How was that for Warren Buffett's plan to send a guy in for you?
Right. See, why does it do that? Jeez, I hate Twitter. Hang on one second. Let me just go to Twitter real quick because I want to cover a couple other things too, guys. That I'm gonna keep my eye on this. Yeah, I'm gonna keep my eye on this. You know what I mean? Let's keep our eye on this, guys, because it is kind of interesting. No doubt about it.
Well, if anybody goes to the thread, Anon inboxed me some stuff. I added to it on the background and other court cases this guy was involved in. So if anybody wants to continue on that dig and add to it, you're more than welcome.
I mean, to me, he looks like a consistent source of information for intelligence agencies. That's what he looks like to me. He looks like a source. He looks like someone who brings information back and tells information whenever he is instructed to turn over it on people.
Look at what's happening here in Hong Kong. Karli tweeted
saw
this yesterday. They're way up high.
To that too.
From airplanes.
Yeah. Was that from airplanes or out of the building? I don't know.
I don't know. It didn't look like it was coming from the buildings to me.
It is.
Yeah.
It looked like it was above the. It looked like it was above the buildings as it's come down. Look at this, guys. This is from, throwing tear gas on the protesters from looks like the air, not the building. But I may be wrong about that. But look how it comes out of, like it's almost like it's coming from 20,000 feet or something.
Well, I mean that's enough to hurt somebody. Yeah.
Yes, it is. That's amazing. I mean, if you get hit by one of those, it's going to kill you.
You'll be dead. You'll be dead. If you scroll down, I added a video this morning of them all singing.
Yep.
Even in London, they're singing to help with the protest with the song from Les Mis.
So this is Hong Kong protesters, 28-mile human chain demanding democracy, but they don't really want democracy because democracy is not what we want. But they want their own republic is what they want. Ready? Let's listen to this. Wow.
That's in London.
God bless him, right?
Yes, sir.
One of my favorite songs from Les Mis. Do you hear the people sing? That's a great song. Oh my gosh. I tell you, my Twitter is really messing up. I can't stand this.
Well, I did like a combo video, so the next group that was singing was in Hong Kong.
Here we go. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry.
Oh yeah, this is great.
Wow. And then this, yeah.
That right there made me cry, man.
The bombs bursting in Wow.
Wow, golly.
It's amazing.
No, it's very interesting to me how hearing our Star Spangled Banner being sung through a bullhorn from a foreign land sounds so amazing to me. Like that sounds like a.
Oh, I got chills.
I mean, like the rugged, like it's like that's who that rugged. It's not the Star Spangled Banner isn't perfect. The Star Spangled Banner was written on a night that was unbelievable hell on earth. And so it's like that. Oh man, that just captures something. That moment captures something. I don't know what I'm even saying, but that moment captures something.
I'd like to, basically recall an investigation on Madeleine McCann. This is the Podesta brothers that we pretty much think it is. But look at this other lady that speaks with an Australian accent, according to reports. Who does that look like, guys?
Looks like Ghislaine.
Yeah.
Or Ghislaine.
Yeah.
Yep.
And this is a great video, guys. This is where we go.
And we're making dramatic strides in
We go all on Twitter, or excuse me, on YouTube. Very good video. If you guys haven't seen this yet, let me just go into some of this. Here we go. I'm not going to play all of it because you guys need to see all of it. We've played some of this stuff, right?
And that we didn't have to take a deposition of him. That was 2009.
Let's go into this part right here. Okay, sorry. I wanted to get the right spot.
Jeffrey Epstein was not someone that I respected. These are the words spoken by the president on the White House lawn when asked about the long-disgraced financier. What is the keystone? Does Satan exist? Does the thought of Satan exist? Who worships Satan? What is a cult? Epstein Island. What is a temple? What occurs in a temple? Worship? Why is the temple on top of a mountain? How many levels might exist below? What is the significance of the colors, design, and symbol above the dome? Why is this relevant? Who are the puppet masters? Have the puppet masters traveled to this island? When? How often? And why? These are the words written by the president back in 2017 when he tasked Anons to dig on the now incarcerated financier. Here's what's been found. This is Ghislaine Maxwell, Jeffrey Epstein's girlfriend, who, according to award-winning actress Ellen Barkin, is a pimp who pilots planes to and from the island and traffics women for him. And this statement is right in line with a story that Elisabetta Attai, a 21-year-old Italian model, had come forward with, saying that she had been sent to Epstein's mansion in hopes of a Victoria's Secret modeling gig. Said that when she got there, Ghislaine Maxwell had brought her over to meet a naked Epstein who handed her a dildo that she then threw in his face and ran out, and that Ghislaine Maxwell grabbed her and asked her what she was doing, and then told her she couldn't just leave, and said that this is an important man and that he's a friend of President Clinton. Another interesting connection that has been made is with the kidnapping case of Madeleine McCann, which we all know that two of the sketches of the kidnappers look exactly like John Podesta and Tony Podesta. But if you look closer, another one of the sketches looks just like Ghislaine Maxwell. Now, this potential connection to John Podesta isn't the only way this links to Washington, as it has just been reported by the Post that Chuck Schumer got thousands in donations from Jeffrey Epstein. You know, the same Chuck Schumer, right? Who's seen here having lunch with George Soros' son, Alex Soros. Still think these people aren't bought and paid for? And more things are coming out every single day about these people. Here's Democratic donor Ed Buck accused of human trafficking and revenge porn after a man dies in his home.
This video is so well done, guys.
Secretary to George H.W. Bush said that he groomed and played with little boys. And of course, the biggest connection to Washington, the Clintons, who are both on his flight log to Little St. James Island. Bill Clinton, I believe, upwards of 26 times. And of course, here's Ghislaine Maxwell front row at Chelsea Clinton's wedding. You could add that to the steady list of shady connections to the Clintons. Like just the other day, Disney star Cameron Boyce died suddenly, who had done work that was tied to the Clinton Global Initiative. And what is everyone doing? They're running cover for these people whose names come up in so many scandals, it's unreal. Here's the Clinton Presidential Library is refusing to hand over information on Bill Clinton's ties to Jeffrey Epstein.
I mean, we could go on and on and on with this video. I don't even know where to stop it because it's just boom, 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 boom. Very well done. Where we go one, we go all. You earned my subscribe and my sincere congratulations on that video. Very, very well done, sir.
Absolutely. Extremely well done.
Yeah, so please, guys.
Barkin blocked me.
No.
So please, guys, take a chance at... go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I was doing a thread on Epstein, and she deleted that tweet. So I tagged her and I said, why did you delete this tweet? And she accused me of being a Russian bot and blocked me. And Podesta blocks me too. He hates me. I keep putting up hot dog videos.
Karli, good Lord.
So yeah, get over there and watch this video when you get a chance, guys. It is very, very good. It's probably the best.
It's a good
Epstein.
red pill video for regular
ahead.
people too.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was agreeing with you.
Yeah.
Great
So-
red pilling video for your friends.
It really is. Wow, guys. Wow.
And it seems like the president is escalating it, doesn't it, Matrixxx? It seems like he's escalating them. You know, we're heating up the pot.
Absolutely. And, you know, we're all like sitting here worried about Q. I wouldn't worry about it, guys. I mean, look at these tweets right here. Our president is standing up for us. And so this one right here, this is huge. This is that. Look at this thread. Wow.
Thread.
Our country has lost stupidly trillions of dollars with China over many years. Now, remember, guys, China isn't a sovereign state. It's a communist country. We shouldn't support them in any way, shape, or form in that regard, right? But they are set up by the deep state, guys. Their banking system, everything has been set up by the family, right? The pesos. Where does the money come from? It all comes from these folks. So when you hear Iran, when you hear North Korea, when you hear China, think the bad actors that are protecting the United States of America and body politic trust, guys. That's what I'm telling you. That's what we're seeing. That's what I'm noticing. And they're acting like it's separate countries, right, guys? Like how we were grown to think.
Yep. And when we can see clearly with the connection between the Chinese military and every business in China and the way they operate, there is no disconnect there. So any company of America that's cooperating with China to do business in China has to capitulate to the communist rule of law there.
Yeah. I mean, look at that. I mean, so they have stolen our intellectual property. That's right. They stole our intellectual property, guys, at a rate of hundreds of billions. And I bet that number is even bigger than that. I mean, they took, you know, Microsoft and made it their own, right? Look at Huawei. They took all of the technology.
How much did Hillary give them?
Well, how much did Bill, right? Bill outsourced the computers for our jet planes, right? I mean, it's crazy. They want to... Joe Biden and his son, right? Yes. Very, very good point. That's millions of dollars right there. So they've stolen intellectual property, hundreds of billions of dollars a year, and they want to continue. I won't let that happen. We don't need China. And remember, guys, our republic was supposed to be self-sufficient. We didn't need to rely on everybody else. Remember that?
Well, the Constitution had no taxing on labor, right. No tax on income, no tax on the work from the sweat of your brow. The state is not allowed to tax that. Now, how come everybody's paying taxes?
Right.
Why is everybody out there paying an income tax?
Wait,
and
GE's not paying taxes.
They're definitely not paying taxes, and a lot of the other big ones aren't either.
All right.
And who are we standing there? Who are we standing there pointing at? Whenever you say when you file an IRS income tax return, you're filing that with the Federal Reserve, everyone.
Which is an illegal foreign entity.
Central banking system that is connected to all other global central banking systems, which is the reason that your republic was set up to begin with, was to get away from those currently existing 500 years ago central banking systems.
Who started the Federal Reserve? Where did they come from, Shady?
They came from, they started it in Jekyll Island. They came from
who owned Jekyll Island?
Business class, and the Jekyll Island was owned by the Paysur Trust.
Mm-hmm. And all these trustees of Paysur started the Federal Reserve, which was started by the Paysur Railroad companies, guys. Learn your history.
In other words, all of their wealth they used to back the bank.
That's right. You think
private bank?
You think it's a coincidence?
Going on.
You think it's a coincidence called the Trump train? Do you think that's a coincidence, guys?
Time to buy some stocks today. Who's ever got money? Because since China has put tariffs on us, and the POTUS's tweets this morning, the Dow has dropped. It's down 497.85, and it's tanking as I'm watching it. And they're in complete panic mode.
You know, they're selling off. You know, what they're doing is
we're selling off. But that's when Patriots, we get in there and we buy.
That's right.
I can't buy anything, but I'm just saying, then we get the right people running this boat.
Well, we've also got the death of.
No, I was going to say we have the CEO resignations.
Yes, and the death of David Koch as well.
Yeah, I said his name wrong earlier.
I know you did. I was trying to correct it.
Oh my gosh! All right, so yeah, and absolutely, the Federal Reserve Act was passed. There's questions or conspiracies about that too, which are probably true. It passed in the middle. First, they tried to pass it with the Republicans, then they passed it with the Democrats, then they passed it on Christmas Eve, and we don't know if that.
Whenever no one was there.
Right, when nobody was there. Shame on you, Matrixxx. I know. I just sometimes can't pronounce names correctly. So very interesting stuff. Wow, I'm just blown away right now. Just blown away at what our president is doing right here. I mean, my only biggest question is who is our bigger enemy, Jay Powell with one L, but there's two, or Chairman Z? Or are they one and the same?
Dow thing, and they are panicking.
Yeah, he's saying they are the same thing, and they are all working against you. And please wake up, America, and start paying attention to your economics again. Because if you did, then we would have this corrected in a very short order.
Right, and the fake polls are saying that 40. They're he's got a 51% approval rating, guys.
I guess we should be happy they're at least reporting that he's above 50%. I mean, that is a win for us on some level, even though I know that's absurd.
They're not. They're saying that despite the fake news and polls, he's got 51%, but they're not reporting it as 51. I saw like 46%. I saw the worst ever.
Oh, okay. I thought they were actually finally reporting it over 50. Now I see.
I don't know if they are or not.
Reporting it wrong.
I doubt they are. I didn't think they were.
So here we are. Dow is at negative 500 now. Let's look at, this used to be a good news site, but now
Trump calls Z the enemy, but not Powell.
Right.
And fake news.
We forgot.
He told everyone, if you have a business, pull out of China.
Right.
If you don't want to be in the trade war, pull out of China. He's telling everyone, come home.
Right.
Please come home. Yes.
Yeah, come home.
He sounds like, Daddy, I want my children to come home. He loves this country and us so much. And all they do is put him down. The chosen one, we chose him.
Yes, we did.
The elected one.
I just want to give him a big hug.
I know.
So do I.
It's going to be a landslide victory. No doubt about it.
I think he's going to take every state, guys. I really do. I honestly think he's going to take every state. We have a year to go before this election goes down.
Oh,
I mean, and all this stuff that's coming out right now, look at where the country is going to be a year from now.
Well, they're going after the economy. That's the only way he's going to lose with swing voters is if they tank this economy.
They can't do it, though.
Well, they're trying to. I'm watching this Dow thing. It's up it's down 512.
I understand, but you have to recognize that we're forcing them to sell, Karli. We're forcing the deep state to sell. We went into this. We're creating a parallel economy. So whenever they took the dollar off the gold standard, they had a parallel economy running. So the central banks created the parallel economy at the 1913 moment to systematically remove gold from our from the exchange. So now what we're doing is we're building a parallel economy with gold as the backing of America. We're moving towards the gold. So what we're doing is we're forcing them to sell off, and we're covering the markets in red. And then the Patriots are coming in and they're buying up to push it back. This is all a plan to get rid of them and to sustain us.
Well, did you see when he gave the award last night? I saw Matrixxx the guy had the 17 pin, but everybody was in purple and gold last night in that video.
Ah, interesting. No, I did not catch that.
Everyone was in purple and gold everywhere. I guess, they're just matching the colors of the award. But, see, this is a message to all those little red, blue states. Let's go purple.
So even though the Dow's down 400 or 500 points, we're still not hitting. We're not bouncing below 25,000. You see how he's constantly keeping it up there? It's like we're riding right now, and gold is climbing. That's another thing. Look at the price of gold in the last 3 weeks. And 3 weeks ago, gold was 1,350 or so, and now it's over 1,500, and it's climbing, which means we're gaining real economy. And he's pulling in these tariffs. And they were on there mocking him for the tariffs this morning. The tariffs are what the money that the IRS is supposed to spend on the country quote unquote, that they don't because it's just interest, is supposed to be supplied by tariffs. The tariffs are supposed to supply and sustain our country. Right. That was the original way that the economy was set up, and that's why it's based in conservatism. Because if you're not pulling in the tariffs, then there's no money. Then you can't spend money you don't have. Like, you do not have the ability to spend money you don't have. That was the Constitution, and now look at all of the debt, the fiat currency that's been created around us.
And there's your gold prices right there.
Oh, it's up to 1530 now.
Yeah, look at that.
Today, it's a big spike today.
Wow. And also,
this is what you're going to see, because this is the gold price is suppressed in a way that the deep state. That's the reason they had to get America to turn in their gold in 1933, was because you couldn't keep your gold and us control the exchange value of it. The only way we can control the exchange value is if we control most of the gold. And so now what you're seeing here with this spike is you're seeing the gold suppression techniques of the deep state being taken away, and you're starting to see it climb.
I remember during the Obama era, every corner was we buy gold stores, and they're all gone now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and here's
every corner.
Here's this is 6102 Shady that we were talking about. This is April 5th, 1933.
And notice this. This is I can just kind of go into a little bit of a caveat real quick with this. This is where they repealed the gold. And if you read your Trading with the Enemy Act that was put forth by Roosevelt, and this is a big part of the con, this act right here, Trading with the Enemy Act. Who is the enemy in the Trading with the Enemy Act? Now think of the time period, 1917, trade tariffs. We were trading with countries. The tariffs were being utilized. Now we're setting up this, quote, Trading with the Enemy Act. Oh, we can't have trading because of all of these. Oh, it sounds all nefarious, but whenever you read the act, the enemy is you. The enemy is the American people. This bill, the Trading with the Enemy Act of 1917, is actually directed towards the American population. You are the enemy as of this legislation right here in 1917. We were made the enemy, and we were, quote unquote, now you see the all capital corporation name, your all capital name, that's a business. Okay, your business is not the enemy, your person is the enemy. Mm-hmm. They've created a whole nother layer to match the United States embodied politic fake fake title to the country that they set all this stuff in with the peso or trust and then creation of the Federal Reserve. So this is how they usurped your republic and convinced people that you didn't have any wealth and that you are a democracy. We're meaning majority rules, and we'll just do whatever we want. Like you were saying, they passed the one bill right on Christmas, the central banking structure. This all plays into our current depletion of wealth, and I really see, like the only way we're going to see whether or not this is working is to watch the precious metal prices rise and adjust to a real rate, which could be, some speculations as much as $10,000 an ounce.
Yep. And it's probably what it should be about, in reality.
It should be right. And if you actually compare the inflative economic structure, it's approximately 8 to 10,000 an ounce would be a proper exchange rate for non-suppressed metal right now in the world market.
But
Absolutely.
Do you see the difference with the Obama era? They had all these stores, sell your gold, get cash for gold. All those stores disappeared, and since how long all these commercials, buy gold, buy gold, buy gold.
Well, the deep state can't run that. They can't run that. Number one, there's a lot of fake gold out there in the real market. A lot of the stuff they were selling was fake, believe it or not. And no one is really selling right now. Everyone's holding.
Yeah, but I'm just saying how the narrative switched with President.
Sure, absolutely, because before they wanted to get they were trying to steal your wealth, and so they knew that everyone was going down, 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 down. So here, turn over your gold, turn in your gold, turn in your gold. It's the same thing that they did in 1933. That they were kind of the same program. They were going to run it all the way in through Hillary too, and so now look at the shift because they can't get it. They're not going to be able to get it. Not with President Trump there. Not with him doing this with the economy.
And I, real quick too, it just kind of hit my mind. But he was saying Z is Comey, and they were interviewing Clinton. This guy has been a fixer for the Clintons for many years. He was on the board of HSBC. HSBC did a big rollout in Mexico. That's why Q points to the Clinton Mexico, I bet, because HSBC went there. He was on the Clinton Foundation, and he was, working with the drug cartel bank of choice, which is HSBC. So this guy's a fixer. You're not telling me that he was trying to set up Hillary Clinton. I mean, I just won't believe that. I can't.
No.
And no.
I see it as this guy was fed a narrative, and they knew he would repeat it.
That'd be a blue pill, and it's too big to swallow.
Yeah. He's a little nervous Nelly pants, and he thinks he's doing, from what I can see, body language goes to no body language goes. I see a guy that thinks he's doing the right thing.
Yeah.
And he's trying to heal the country, and he says both sides this was done to them. He was fed this BS.
Sure.
They knew he'd come out and do it, because he was one of these young hippies with the Occupy Wall Street. This is all a narrative this poor guy was fed, and he thinks he's doing all of us a justice. I think he's really being honest, but he's being honest about what he was fed. So he's just another puppet in this whole stream of shenanigans that's been going on for the past 3 years and before.
Yeah. Also, real quick, do you think Bob Cousy got the Medal of Honor because they won 17 championships?
I don't know, but I saw that lovely 17 pin on the lapel there.
I'm sure it's a coincidence, guys.
I'm sure it is.
But did you see everyone, what they're dressed in? Even the women. Purple. Everyone's in purple and gold.
Here at this one? At the Cousy
The video.
thing?
Look at the video.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Whoops. I tell you, this Twitter is just crazy.
Ugh.
It's driving me nuts. Yeah, I saw that. That's interesting. Also, what happened to QAnon Baby? Did you guys know that QAnon Baby is gone?
Oh, his account?
Yeah.
No, I didn't know that. What?
Yeah, QAnon Baby is gone. See, at Q_non baby, gone. And you remember QAnon Baby, who's the one that had the...
He was the guy, right? They one of the first,
VIP
the first
Anon.
people that were queued.
He was the first VIP Anon. Yeah, and this picture will be the signifier where we go one, we go all. Here's the photo, and then he had his own photo with Q+, kind of said plus on there.
He was at the rally and everything.
Yep, and he actually has a Matrixxx shirt, by the way, from Teespring. He got this one right here, the POTUS swag shirt.
What'd they take him down for?
I'm sure because he's not telling any truths or anything. But anyways, remember this? Look at this.
I remember this.
Yep.
Interesting, right? And then here he is here, same guy. Here we go.
Pointed right to that Q shirt, man. I remember that day like it was yesterday.
I do too. So here it is right here. My entire Twitter was taken down. All old tweets, likes, media gone. Trying to get Twitter to return. No luck.
Jeez, I know how that feels.
So this is Jeff DeRizzo. I would follow him for any future updates. Somebody said, okay, I should not have said by Twitter. His tweets were wiped by somebody other than him. That's all we know. And he said
okay.
The language and country of origin were Turkey.
And so it might have been a hack.
Yeah.
Oh, he was hacked.
Yeah.
Well, because
guys,
it was probably hacked by Jack.
No, but you get I get it once a week where reset your password like 5-6 times in a row in my message box. I'm like, I'm not resetting anything.
Right.
That's them trying to get into your account.
Yeah. So just be careful, guys, with your Twitter accounts. Maybe just reset your password today.
So you mean like Karli, like you're saying that they're getting they're trying to get you to reset your password, and then they're somehow watching you reset it and
they get
trying
in.
to steal
That's
it. I got you.
That's when the back door is open. So
I understand.
like I'll be on Twitter posting something, reading stuff, and all of a sudden my messenger on my iPhone is ding, 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 reset your password with a million, use this code.
Whatever.
And I'm like, but I'm on Twitter, so why do I need to reset? I'm already here.
That makes no sense.
Someone inboxed me, says, yeah, they do that every once in a while, and it's like that's when people lose their accounts, when they reset and they get hijacked. So definitely be careful. Also, there's another, I guess a lot of you guys, you're always up on this stuff. People are sending, check this out to your DM, and it's some kind of YouTube video.
Yeah, for Karli only, for Karli's eyes only, or something like that.
I've seen a couple of those.
Delete them right away.
I just delete them, and a couple of them I noticed were from like there was one that was coming through from some pretty nasty stuff sites that they're trying to get you to go to as well. They're sending DMs of pornography sites.
Yeah, well, that they get you with the cookies, and then it's latched on. Like, even though I do everything on my phone, I have a VPN. You have to have one, but it doesn't always cover everything because they're finding back channels into everything. And when it's people that run Twitter, they know all the back doors of how to get you. So they're trying all these new little ways to get people off. So just everyone be careful. Be careful who you follow, and they're out to get us.
Absolutely.
Well, we are sticking our heads up out of the mole hole a little bit here.
The mole hole. So Shady, what do we got this evening?
Well, this evening, you guys know we have changed the time on the Q Lounge now. We moved it to 9 East, which everybody seemed to like a lot better. I hope everybody out there likes that better anyway. So just a little bit of a change there, and we are going to be going over some different things about current topics of what is happening in Hong Kong, what is happening on Twitter, what is happening with the this guy here. Who knows what's going to develop with this guy, and also a little bit more about the SRA. I want to highlight some of the people who've been in this abuse train a little bit and talk some more about that, so some people can get some tools to work with any family or friends that they may have that are going through some of this stuff. So that's a little bit of what we're getting into at 6 West 9 East now tonight on the Q Lounge Live.
I can't wait. You guys press 17 if you're addicted to the Q Lounge Live. Right? So I want to just play this for Shady because this is a little tonight. Let's go. 9 p.m. Shady Grooove. So the Q Lounge Live and the Matrixxx Groove Hour is heard worldwide, folks. We're covering the whole planet. You guys are going to be here with us tonight at 9 p.m. East, 6 p.m. West. Don't forget to head over to the Teespring store if you guys want to support us. We got your regular Q. We got some intheMatrixxx stuff. We got the Q Red Pill, if you will. Enjoy the show. The choice to know will be yours. We've got United States Department of Winning. We've got many, many things. We've got all different shapes and sizes for all different shapes and sizes, and men and women, and you guys get it over there. If you guys want to support us, I would really appreciate that. We also have 193 patrons trying to get to 200. Can you help us? All you need is $1. We would really appreciate it. Anything you guys can do to help is always appreciated. We also got Karli, Bonne too. We've got to make sure we support her. She has a Patreon as well. Get over there to Karli, KBQ225. And Shady, any last words? And then
Well, I'd like to really thank Karli for coming on and helping us every Friday like she does. It's really a blessing to have her with us. I love your spirit and your intellect and the way that you view the world, Karli. It's really something special for you to be with us. And also thanks to Paul Saran for coming on yesterday. Another wonderful week, Matrixxx, and a little bit interesting to watch the world develop without the boards being active and with all of us standing on our own out there. I think there's a guy by the call sign 45 sitting in the White House is pretty proud of all of you great anons out there for staying the course and for not being diverted. So I really, really can't wait to see what happens whenever this all breaks and gets out and we see them start to really run around and trying to hide under rocks and stuff, and all the wonderful people coming to this new information are like picking up the rocks like, oh no, you're not going under there. So that's what we're real close to, guys. So with that, Matrixxx, love everyone out there. I'll catch you guys tonight.
Karli, what you got? Last words.
Last words, guys. I have a YouTube channel, and on one of the things that has all my songs that don't have videos. Now, there's a song called "Love Is," which I don't have the means to make videos anymore for my songs. So if anybody, you can move the songs to an MP3 converter and make a video, I would so appreciate that. I want to see some artwork out there.
All right.
I got the material. I just need the videos for it. And
So
I'll put it up on my Twitter.
So a call from Karli Bonne to take her song "Love Is" from her YouTube channel and make a kick-ass video. Who's going to answer the call? Let us know. Make sure you're following Karli, and she'll follow you back. If you guys can't get a hold of us, if you want to email itm@intheMatrixx with 3x's.com. Once you're done, we've got some great video people out there. We've got VV out there. We've got Dexter's out there. We've got some good people. So maybe somebody will answer the call, Karli.
That would be great. I love you guys. Thank you for having me every Friday. I know, it's goofy time for me, but that's how I survived. I keep people laughing, but we do some great digs, and you guys are the best.
Yeah, that's it, Karli. Thank you so much. And guys, thank you for putting up with me. I've had kind of a rough week trying to, I don't know, get off whatever I've got going on here, like some sort of cold or something. My voice is back. I got a lot of great rest. I'm getting ready to keep fighting, and I will keep fighting, guys. With that, guys, Shady Groove with 3 O's on Twitter. In the Matrixx with 3 X's at KBQ225 is Karli. Don't forget Paul Ceran, PAUL_SERRAN on Twitter. He just got published with on the Frank Report talking about QAnon, guys. Get over there. Wow, we're winning, guys. We'll have much, much more. We're taking a look at the Patrick Byrne stuff. We're going to figure all of it out. We got this, guys. See you tonight, Q Lounge Live, 9 p.m. Peace.